Is there any discussion on the minutes from October 15th? No? All right, all in favor of approving the minutes from, I'm sorry, Secretary Srinivasan, will you dispense roll call, please? Thank you.
President Free.
Present.
Vice President Manishins.
Present.
Treasurer Mark Hurt. Parliamentary Navarro. Senator Abai.
Present.
Senator Adams. Senator Alegria. Senator Andrews. Senator Faber. Senator Balogan.
Yeah.
Senator Billings.
Present.
Senator Byram.
Here.
Senator Bradley. Senator Chacon.
Here.
Senator Davis.
Here.
Senator Freshour. Senator Gamarian.
Here.
Senator Guy. Senator Hernandez.
Here.
Senator Horniak. Senator Jumper. Senator Leverett. Senator Louvier.
She's here.
Okay. Senator Luna.
Here.
Senator Hannah Mahfood.
Here.
Senator Maggie Mahfood.
Present.
Senator Martin. Senator Martinez.
Here.
Senator Medina.
Here.
Senator Miller.
Present.
Senator Musni.
Here.
Senator Ulashinas.
Here.
Senator Rogers.
Here.
Senator Schultz.
Here.
Senator Segal.
Here.
Senator Shelton.
Here.
Senator Hannah. Oh, here. Senator Hannah Shipley. Senator Joe Shipley. Senator Said.
Here.
Senator Templeman.
Here.
Senator Toole. Senator Williams.
Here.
And Senator Dan.
Here.
Now, is there any discussion from the on the minutes from October 15th? All right, all in favor of approving the minutes from October 15th, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. That's passed. Perfect. No one here to speak. All right, guys, thank you for being here today. Thank you for coming. For dealing with pictures. I'll try to get through this fairly quickly. I don't have too much. A couple updates though. The President's Dinner, I think all of you have an invitation. Did those get passed out? Okay, so all of you guys have that. Remember RSVP, I think the email's on there. I think it's the SGA email, so it shouldn't be that complicated. Please do that. They won't make food for if you don't. So keep that in mind. Everyone, please try to attend. Secondly, we have been researching some things as an executive board. One of the things that we've been researching is how to make SGA more open, and some of the things that we came upon a act from the Texas legislature called the Open Meeting Act, I believe is what it's called. So tonight, for the first time, we're Zooming this live. We're going to record it. The agenda's posted, and so we're fully complying with that meeting act. So there you go. Secondly, as an exec board, we've been discussing, we have one of the largest tenants we've ever had. Personally, I believe that the structure that we have right now is too small to deal with the large amount of people that we have. And so with that being said, I'm using the power that I have to create 2 brand new committees that are going to be here for this year. So those will be here for this year. They're just like every other committee. You'll have an opportunity to sign up for them, and I'll read out to you what they are. The first one is Student Housing and Residential Affairs, and this committee will be responsible for coordinating with the leaders of housing and residential life to accurately determine the problems and needs of UT Tyler's ever-growing residential community. This committee will report just like every other committee on a weekly basis, and it'll have a chair that is appointed by myself, and for the 2015-2016 school year, that chair will be Senator Alex Medina. The next committee is the Student Affairs Committee, and this is a committee that will review and revise legislation regarding student life issues and student services on campus. This committee will also generate legislation on the topics of student life and student services and well-versed on those issues. Once again, it will report every week with all the other committee reports. And for the school year, Joe Shipley, Senator Joe Shipley from Arts and Sciences will chair that committee. So just be aware that those are going to come up and you'll have an opportunity to sign up for those 2 committees. We found that it's very difficult when we have 14 people on a committee to, one, find a time that everyone can actually meet at one time, and that we're going to start meeting in rooms like this for committee meetings if we didn't do something to alleviate the problem. So other than that, I don't have anything. Is there any questions for me? No? All right, let's go ahead and finish it.
How do we think the retreat went on Saturday? Pretty good. For the most part, getting some nods. It was good. We spent just the right amount of money. We had just the right amount of food. I think it was great. As far as the time went, it was a great job on everyone's part. Thank you for everyone who came in and contributed to it. I was very successful. I'm very proud of you guys for coming. So thank you for that. Secondly, I do have a sheet for committee assignments that I'm going to pass around to each person. The instructions are on there. I want you guys to sign up for multiple committees and see what times will work for you. And then later on, we will end up sorting it out because there are so many of you now. So that's the best way that we found to do it. So that's all I've got, and I'm passing this out now.
Any questions for Vice President Van Shand? Yes, Senator
Are
Freshour.
we, like, being on multiple committees now, or
No.
like?
This
You
will
will be on one
committee.
committee.
So we'll be on one committee.
But sign up for multiple times that work for you.
So sign up for multiple ones, and we'll find the time that works best, and we'll select one for you. So you have a
The
preference.
instructions are on.
Any other questions? No. Secretary Srinivasan.
Okay, hey everyone, we're having a huge problem with absence forms. So I'm gonna reiterate this one more time. Absence forms are due 48 hours prior to the event. 2 unexcused absences, you're up for judicial review. I made a mistake last time by saying that 3 tardies is equivalent to 1 excused absence. 1 tardy is an absence, so don't be late. Other than that, oh, and please send everything to me. Send it via email or hand it in.
Any questions? Secretary Srinivasan. Secretary Bar.
I'd also like to clarify, even if an officer says it's okay that you it's okay to be absent, or they kind of give you an approval, always submit an absence form, even in that case, because the other officers might not know about it. And if we have 5 people telling an officer that, then we don't know what's happening. So always submit an absence form, if you know you're gonna be or absent.
Thank you. Yep.
If it's an emergency, just send it after the emergency is over or the next day, but please don't wait 3-4 days to send in an absence form after the emergency is after the event's been coordinated.
Thank you. Any other questions? Treasurer McCurt.
All right, I see I'm not on the agenda here, but that's okay.
It's your fault.
Sorry. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. It's, again, nice to see the Senate being this full. I would like to again apologize for not being able to make the retreat or the meeting last week. As some of you know, I was at a cross-country meet in Virginia and went very well. I hear that the retreat went well as well, and so that's good to hear. I've been busy with SGA stuff. We're in the process of making a flyer. That'll be updated when we go over committee reports. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions? Treasurer McCurt. Parliamentary Bar.
Last week I mentioned for new senators your forms. So there are a few of you who haven't turned in your student verification form. So if I call out your name, please turn it in by the end of today. And if it's not turned in by the end of next day's GA meeting, you'll get one unexcused absent. So the following senators who haven't sent a senator verification form are Senator Abey, Senator Andrews, Senator Hernandez, Senator Horniak, and Senator Sanchez. If you could get those to me or Joshua by the end of the week, that'd be great. And then those of you who didn't, can I have a raise of hands who didn't come to the retreat this weekend? Okay, well there's a cheat sheet that I passed around to those who were there, and it's just kind of some things you need to know about Robert's rules and how we conduct meetings, and it'll benefit you as well. Take one if you don't have one.
Treasurer McCurt.
I have something to add with Parliamentarian Navarre. What you said about when you sign that form saying you've read the documents, actually read the documents. You guys don't just sign the form. I know some people want to sign things without actually going through and reading it, but please read the forms. It's important to know about the dress code and the absence policy, the Constitution, and bylaws. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Parliamentarian Navarre. No? All right, moving on. Old business. Senator Faber, your resolution that was tabled 2 weeks ago.
I'd actually like to move to replace the current resolution with an updated form of resolution.
Would you like to move that to new business? Fair.
No.
Josh?
No, it'd be
No, it's fine. Okay, that's fine. All right. So the motion needs to be seconded.
Second.
All right, the motion's been passed, and so, or the motion's been seconded, so we'll vote on it. All in favor of allowing Senator Favor to move past his old resolution and introduce his new one? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion's passed.
Have it up on the board there. Would the secretary like to read it off, or do you want me to read it off?
Yeah, you read it off.
Okay. All right, so resolution on instituting electronic broadcasts of UT Tyler student government General Assembly meetings. Whereas an increase in transparency and expanded effort to inform constituents of proceedings of the Student Government Association could offer a benefit to the student body of UT Tyler, whereas the proceedings and decisions of the Student Government Association should be more easily accessed and readily available to the students of the University of Texas at Tyler, regardless of their location, ability to travel, or schedule. Whereas the proposed policy would address the concern of a future inability to accommodate non-SGA students, attendees of the General Assembly in one room, now therefore be it resolved that beginning on October 29, 2015, all Student Government Association General Assembly meetings be broadcasted electronically to the UT Tyler community. Resolved, the preferred method of broadcasting will be determined by the Communications Committee and evaluated as new and improved technologies become available for SGA use. Resolved, broadcasts will be recorded and made available to the student body no later than 2 business days following the date and time of recording. It is the responsibility of the chair of the Communications Committee to ensure the performance of this duty. Is it resolved that recordings of the General Assembly broadcasts will be made available to the UT Tyler community beginning November 5th, 2015. The recordings will be filed and archived by the Secretary of SGA for 1 long semester at a time. Long semester being defined as August to January and January to August. And Chair Dulcie Gal is a co-sponsor of this resolution. So I'd like to say that there are a few things that are been changed. Mainly, I just made it more clear as to who would be in charge of this. It's still the Communications Committee. However, said that the chair of the Communications Committee will ensure the performance of this duty. And as I think we've been using Zoom here for a couple weeks now, so I think it's working fairly well. And I think that hopefully y'all have the time, this necessary time to think about it, and talk to constituents, as that was one of the things last time that was considered. It was also considered that Robert's Rules of Order weren't being followed in the way that this format was being done, so I tried to the best of my ability to do that. And now I'll open for questions.
Any discussion? Treasurer McCurt.
I like the resolution. I see you put in the work to make the changes to address some of the concerns we had 2 weeks ago. I don't have any problems with it other than some of the wording. It's not consistent when it says University of Texas at Tyler at the top, but then down it says UT Tyler Community. I don't know if you want to make that to be the same as University of Texas at Tyler. I remember Dr. Harrison wanted me to make that change when I was making the resolution. As well as SGA, it's sometimes abbreviated, but then other times it's not. I think we should change it, or you should change it to Student Government Association just to keep it consistent. Those are my recommendations.
Change SGA to Student Government Association.
Yeah, anytime it says SGA to the Student Government Association, and then anywhere it says UT Tyler, change it to University of Texas at Tyler. Those are my recommendations.
Yeah, they're seeing it right now.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Let's see. Like control fine. Did it change to Student Government Association?
If you do control F, you can replace them all at once.
Control F.
Other than that, is there any discussion on the resolution? No? So once you get that fiscal mail.
Okay, working on that.
I have a question, just a question. How is this any different than what I spoke about in my one earlier? What's the point of it, I guess?
point of it?
But yeah, what's the point of it? Because
I mean,
it complies with, we're complying with state law, and you haven't said anything that I didn't say. I mean, I don't disagree with it. Obviously I don't disagree with it. I just want to know, is it just semantics or?
Well, with all due respect, Mr. President, you're out of order, and that the president should not be speaking.
I'm just
until-
asking-
unless
just
you
asking a
step down
question.
from the center. Even as a season asking questions, according to the Robert's Rules of Order, that's out of order.
That's true, but let me just
I
address.
haven't recognized you. Vice President Vanishing.
All right. If I may relax just a second. We had researched the Texas Open Meeting Act, which is in regards to state law, something we have to follow. So any governing body, SGA here on campus, we have to be transparent and we have to broadcast these meetings. So furthermore, we're just trying to say what is going to be the difference between state law, what we have to do, Chapter 551, versus this resolution right here.
Yeah, I have a copy of the bill that you're speaking of right here, Texas House Bill 31. And basically, the only difference here is that we're just clarifying how we're going about some of the things that are mandated. For example, I've said the Communications Committee will be fulfilling this. Obviously, they're not going to get that specific on statewide legislation. So it specifies it. It also gives a year length for how we need to store it. And the bill says that it needs to be made available. It doesn't define that time. So I was thinking that in terms of this is responsible. I think a year is long enough. I don't think people want to go back more than a year. So that way we don't have to buy extra space in a cloud or whatever to store all of the videos. But it's really just makes it more specific and a way of implementing here at UT Tyler with the SGA.
Any other discussion? Sarah, Dr. Howard?
I guess this was a question I had for you earlier, is asking because so this bill that we're talking about, so we're, like you brought up earlier, we're already going to be posting it via Zoom, is what we're using right now?
Yes.
Okay. So they will be recorded from that. Okay.
I like to point out that according to the law, there's not a delegation of who's responsible for doing that. So in this resolution, it's saying Communications Committee will be in charge of that. The chair of the Communications Committee will ensure that is followed up.
Any other? Senator Shipley?
I have a question for the parliamentarian. Would the chairman of the Communications Committee be able to delegate this the way it's written? Check with it, would she be able to delegate it to?
I think if you keep it broad to Communications Committee, then the chairman of the committee can delegate who does it.
The answer to the senator's question as well, I wrote it specifically with that in mind. I said it's not responsibility of the chair of the Communications Committee to ensure the performance of this duty. So I think ensure there allows them to delegate it as long as they're making sure that it is being accomplished. How they do that is up to them.
Senator Miller?
Just something real quick. Scroll to the top. Shouldn't the title be changed resolution on assigning electronic? Because I mean, it's already being instituted because of the asking. You just changed that wording a little bit. Instituting, it's already being instituted.
It's not instituted, there's a law in place.
Do what?
I understand what the senator is saying. I think that partly we currently, as of now, we're broadcasting live, so obviously we've instituted that aspect of it. But I think we're also instituting how we're going to upkeep it with maintenance and everything else too. So I do understand your point. If that really is something that is that big of an issue for everybody else, I think we should take a motion to amend that part. But I think as it is now, I think that's fine.
So saying it's the responsibility of the chair of the Communications Committee, who is Secretary Ms. Trinity Boston, that is a very large workload to put on her, I would say. So is there a way that we could word it differently to delegate it amongst her committee and then allow her to approve any of the changes? Because she does have a very large job already.
I take your point well taken. However, I don't think that is necessary because I think that at the end of the day, the secretary still needs to be responsible for whether or not this happens. Because if it doesn't happen, then the blame has to be put somewhere. And if we just put it on someone on the committee, then that's just not, I mean, they're not, I just don't think that's what the leadership structure is in a system currently.
Any other discussion? No. There's no more discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to vote on the resolution.
All right.
Because it was amended, I'd like for the resolution to be reread. So y'all know what you are specifically voting on. So, yeah, just either, doesn't matter here.
All right. Resolution on instituting electronic broadcast of the University of Texas at Tyler Student Government General Assembly meeting. Whereas an increase in transparency and expanded effort to inform constituents of the proceedings of the Student Government Association could offer a benefit to the student body of the University of Texas at Tyler. Whereas the proceeding and decisions of the Student Government Association should be more easily assessed and readily available to the students of the University of Texas at Tyler, regardless of their location, ability to travel, or schedule. Whereas the proposed policy would address the concern of a future inability to accommodate non-student government association student attendees of the General Assembly in one room. Now, therefore, be it resolved that beginning on October 29, 2015, all Student Government Association General Assembly meetings be broadcasted electronically to the University of Texas at Tyler. Resolved, the preferred method of broadcasting will be determined by the Communications Committee and reevaluated as new and improved technologies become available for Student Government Association use. Resolved, the broadcast will be recorded and made available to the student body no later than 2 business days following the date and time of the recording. It is the responsibility of the chair of the Communications Committee to ensure the performance of this duty. Resolved that recordings of the General Assembly broadcast will be made available to the University of Texas at Tyler community beginning November 5th, 2015. The recordings will be filed and archived by the Secretary of the Student Government Association for 1 long semester at a time. Long semester being defined as August to January and January to August.
Thank you. All right, there was a motion.
I just have a question, just to clarify. So the recordings are gonna be online from like August to January, like, and then they're gonna be deleted, and then from the next semester, they're gonna be like re-recorded and then deleted again?
I mean, it's gonna become like what happens this semester is up to the secretary or the communications director to decide. If they think they want to delete it, they can delete it. Bill says they should, because after this semester, what we do is not matter next semester.
So
That's fair. Hold on, but we had closed discussion, there was a motion that was made, the motion was seconded, so we have to vote at this point. All in favor of passing this resolution, please raise your hand. Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion's passed. Thank you. Moving on, we have one new senator to swear in. Is Karina Hernandez here?
Do you mind coming up to the
Come up here, please. Thank you.
Karina Hernandez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I shall faithfully represent
that I shall faithfully represent
the interests of the student body
the interests of the student body of
of the University of Texas at Tyler.
the University of Texas at Tyler.
I shall dutifully uphold and preserve
I shall dutifully uphold and preserve
the Constitution and bylaws of the student body
the Constitution and bylaws of the student body
while utterly executing the office of
utterly executing the office of
Legal Senator,
Legal Senator
the Student Government Association of the University of Texas at Tyler.
of the Student Government Association of the University of Texas.
I've already discussed the committees. Is there any other new business? Senator 5.
I'd like to make a motion to open discussion on the tobacco talks.
Second.
All in favor of opening up a discussion on tobacco topics? All in favor say, or please raise your hand.
Two from Longview as well.
All opposed?
One from Houston.
Any abstentions? Perfect. All right, the ayes have it. Discussion is open.
So I talked to my constituency over the past week, and while a lot of people are in favor of having some restrictions on tobacco, a lot of people were also opposed to having a full-on ban on tobacco products. And so there is an area under Opal called the Smirkle, which is like the social area. It's a circle of benches where a lot of the smokers go to smoke and talk. And usually it's around 10 to 12 people at a time from like 9 p.m. to midnight or other random times throughout the day. And so I talked to them, and their overwhelming sentiment was that they wouldn't abide by the new law because, first of all, they feel unsafe by having to go off campus to smoke, especially with the recent, UT Tyler police reporting the attack that happened about a month ago. And so they just wouldn't really abide by it because of the safety issues that they have at night with smoking. Also, a lot of students would believe that this would lead to fire hazards, either when people go out to smoke in the wooded areas or by covering their smoke detectors in their rooms just to smoke, especially in areas with blue pines or PD. If the smoke detectors were to be inhibited, that could lead to potential hazards. And a lot of students do this either by using CD containers or plastic bags. And so they feel, or this is like a fire hazard that we have to think about. And a lot of the students, they showed resentment towards this. They feel like the university is targeting them for something that's legal to do anywhere else in the country. It's not like, other things. But anyways, and so they supported two other things that could possibly happen, which includes enforcing the current law, which is that smokers can't smoke 25 feet away from the campus, either by providing like a bright line or some sort of indicator to show where people can smoke and where they can't smoke. This would help with reducing the congregation of smokers around buildings such as the HPR, and it helps, I guess, address people who have secondhand smoking issues. Though science shows that secondhand smoking is pretty much negligible in open air spaces, and since smoking isn't allowed in buildings anyways, that's not really as big of an issue. And so either an indicator of sorts, or a second way would be to have designated areas such as the Snorkel. So not like removing these social areas, but protecting these social areas and having designated areas for smoking, but not the parking lot, because as these people feel like parking lots are unsafe at night to just go out and smoke, either with attacks or just being run over or something of those sorts. Having specifically designated areas on campus to help them, or to for them to go smoke, and also to protect vaping, because vaping is just water vapor, and science has shown no medical harms in regards to vaping, and so there's no reason to target all forms of smoking. And this helps protect the social areas such as.
Any discussion on that? Senator Templeman?
As far as legality goes, you do realize us and UT Permian Basin are the only two campuses in the entire Texas system, which includes 6 health institutions that do currently have smoking. So as far as like legality, I'm pretty sure it's being done.
Well, I didn't say it would be illegal. I'm just saying that since smoking is legal outside of college campuses, there's not really a reason to make it illegal here, along with the other concerns.
Yes. Senator Shipley.
So, first of all, you are aware that attack happened on McDonald Road, not in the parking lot, right?
Right, but.
And second of all, covering a smoking detector is a violation of state law, so why should we, you're telling us that we need to accommodate people that want to violate state law. Also, we're not banning it from campus. We said we're making designated smoking areas, which is, so I don't know, all the people that you talked to that had a problem with banning it are pretty much irrelevant because we're not banning it. That's not what's happening in the first place. I don't know how you can possibly have a fire hazard on a paved area. So again, that's also pretty ridiculous. And you do know that people who don't smoke have to pass through the smirkle to get from the parking lot to the front door of the building. So you are subjecting all those people to secondhand smoke, whether they want to or not. So I fail to see what part of anything that you just said is relevant at all.
So sort of out of order, but first of all, the Smurfville is an out of way area. You don't have to pass the Smurfville at all to get to O-Hall into the parking lot. Second of all, according to the study, the polls that you said last time, approximately 55% of faculty wants to completely ban tobacco, make it tobacco free. So I'm just bringing up, the ideas of the constituency that I have. I'm not necessarily for or against it, but I'm just bringing up your thoughts on this matter. And then
Treasurer McCurt, you had your hand up.
I don't agree with a lot of what you said, but I do thank you for talking to your constituents and talking to people. I think that that's important. It's nice to see that you do that. You did that. Thank you very much for your initiative in doing that.
Can I ask two questions?
Yeah, that's fine.
First off, with the front entrance of O-Hall being where the first level floor is, I don't understand how you say you don't have to pass the snorkel because you do. There's no, unless you're walking to the side to go to the parking lot. But if you're coming from that front circle drive, you're walking past the snorkel every single time. So that was not a valid statement. Secondly, what Treasurer McCurt said with talking to your constituents, yes, I'm glad you talked to your constituents, but I would like to know, because I know the snorkel group, I work there, I live there, I know. Did you ask multiple other people as well too?
But I'm fairly certain you can walk through O-Hall without going through the snorkel. If you take this paved path, the sidewalk, you'll see the snorkel, but you won't walk through it. And so it's basically an area away from the designated path of going into O-Hall. You don't walk right through it, you walk aside it, and it's on.
Senator Miller?
Yeah. Right. Look, man, I don't want to see you get shot down so hard. I feel what you're saying, and if people want to have trouble, walking upstairs, that's fine. Get winded. I mean, that's great. And it's an open campus and everything. I've been talking to Preston earlier in the week and he had mentioned something about a grant that we're receiving as a college from the Cancer Research Center. Is that what? Can I get
Point of information?
Yes.
That grant is not in place until
the ban?
Until it was for the University of Texas system, and it's only for those that comply with a full non-smoking policy. So that has to be instituted before.
Is it divided? Is it divided between? Because you'd given me a figure of $3 million.
That was a guess. That's what I heard, but I wasn't for sure. And that was just based off of what on the system
Right.
website.
Honestly, I kind of hate the idea of just trying to put an end to something that certain people don't like and restricting the full freedom of other people. And so as far as that grant goes, I mean, what's the price of corruption? That's basically saying that we're banning smoking just in order to receive grant money. I mean, somebody's paying us to put a ban on something that really that's all I gotta say.
Vice President Baker-Shans?
I think we are promoting more designated areas for smoking and not giving a full-on ban. So a lot of things that you said were false. I know that for sure. And so we all do. But a lot of things that you said as well were true. And so I do appreciate you talking to your constituents and reaching out there. And I would like for you to continue doing that. So that's all I have to say.
Any other further discussion? Thank you. Treasurer McCurt?
I'd like the motion to close discussion.
Second. All in favor of closing discussion? Please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Any other new business? Senator Faber.
I'd like to motion to have a discussion on Robert's Rules Board.
Second motion. All in favor of having a discussion on Robert's Rules of Order, please raise your hand. All opposed? This motion is failed. Thank you. Any other new business? All right. Student voice reports. Do we have? Where is it?
sciences.
That's we lost. Mhm. I can figure out which ones they are. It's arts and science, business and technology, engineering, and that should be it. So, and if we miss you, we'll come back. So we'll start with business and technology. You guys can do it from right there. It's fine.
Okay.
Just make sure I can hear you.
One of the things that we talked with our constituents and with Dean Lumpkin is the implementation of the SAP certification. This is something that's been implemented this semester in most of our business classes. We're looking to get more certificate training in the business of like Lean Six Sigma, other supply chain, other business type, marketing type certifications for our business and technology students.
Also, they're going to start building a new business building, which is really exciting. It'll be across from Steak and Shake, and they said it's supposed to be twice as big as the pharmacy building. So I'm really excited about that. But I don't know.
Any discussion on the Judge McCurt?
Did they say that they were going to ask the students where we think that they should put the building?
He didn't mention. I think it already planned out it was going to be across Steak and Shake.
He said it should be somewhere near the old
Ice house.
that ice house.
Anything else? No? Okay, yeah, but it says it.
Sorry, just a point of information. The university wants a building to actually be on University Drive, and so that's why they decided the location that they did, and really it's the only location. So that's why.
Engineering. Yeah, computer science.
Well, I mean, I wasn't exactly sure what I should be asking. I just asked students, like, what some of their thoughts are of how the semester's going and some issues that they have. And one thing that I repeatedly heard is that our class sizes are getting way too large for the classrooms that we've been assigned to. A lot of that has to do with the professors signing up for that specific classroom. But if we have class sizes of 65 engineering students, and they expect us to have over 30 students in the lab. That's just not practical. Trying to get like things done in that time frame that we're given. We feel that maybe we need more sections available because most of our classes only have one section available.
Any discussion, Vice President Danishans?
That is kind of piggybacking on the same idea of the new business building being made. The old business building will then be moved to arts and sciences because we know the restraints that are going on right now with classrooms for engineering.
No, they're engineering.
Oh, I thought you said arts and sciences. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stuck. Never mind.
Anything else? Arts and sciences.
Arts and sciences.
You guys have what?
Spoke to a number of students, and there was a couple of ideas that came up and a handful of complaints. The main idea I heard was that few students wanted to know if there was a way to put Scantrons and Blue Books in the vending machine, or have them some kind of kiosk in the building where they're available, so you don't have. That way, if somebody forgets them, they don't have to run to the university center to pick them up. As far as complaints, the bathroom door in the men's room upstairs is still broken for like a year and a half straight now. There was normal complaints about parking. The two biggest complaints were about smoking right outside of doors. And I had a number of complaints about Mr. Hescock interrupting people's classes and harassing them in hallways.
Did they mention Mr. Hescock specifically?
They did not. They did not mention him by name. They said that they were being harassed by a creepy guy ranting and raving about a lift.
Senator Shipley.
Wonderful. Thank you.
That is what they said.
Out of order. Thank you. Anything else from arts and sciences? No. All right. Moving on. And committee reports. Student life. Vice President Danishans.
Ms. Freshour, would you like to speak a little bit about Angel Tree, maybe? Angel Tree? Awesome.
We talked about Angel Tree. I would like if you could, or if any of us could maybe, I don't know if I can explain that. full blown, because I know Alex has done it for you guys. So if you guys want to touch on that a little more.
So each year SGA does annual treat, which is pretty much, we pick out a certain number of kids from the Salvation Army. And each sheet has either a boy or a girl. And it lists out the shoe size, clothes size of the kid, and what they want and what they need for Christmas. So us at SGA, we pass them out. We set up a table in the UC and we pass them out to students. And we help out these kids with Christmas presents. So we'll be doing that here in the next coming weeks, and hopefully each center will pick out a kid and hopefully make their Christmas a little happier this year.
Any questions for student life committee? Communications committee, Patricia Bethel.
Well, at the communications meeting, which we held on Tuesday, we discussed the Meet Your Senator event. The purpose of that would be to engage with your constituents, meet them, consult them. But we actually talked about having that on November 4th on Harvey Deck. We set that, I believe we set it in stone.
Is it a set date?
From around 11 o'clock to, I believe we said 1:30 or 2.
One or two.
Okay. And that would be basically a time for you to be there, and we have refreshments. I think we said pizza. So the constituents would have to come to you, and then we would work out a system to where they would have to go to their senator in order to get their pizza. So you'd be definitely making sure that you would be meeting your constituents. It wouldn't just be a mass rush.
That's gonna be on the agenda next week.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna pass out sign-in sheets next week for each center to sign up in an hour so they can talk to their constituents.
This will take everyone's effort to make this successful. We had talked about it earlier, and if only 1, 2, 3 of you show up, I mean, it's going to be exactly like it sounds. I mean, we want it to be really successful. We want the constituents to come up and talk to you and have some ideas that you guys can then bring to us. So think about this event. Know that it's on November 4th. Clear your schedule and be there.
All right. Any other questions for communications? SJC, Treasurer Markert.
Okay, so basically for SGAC, we've just been talking about a way to get out the word that we do give out funds to organizations. The Treasurer Marker has actually put together a flyer, and yesterday we just went over details of the flyer, and they should be getting printed soon. That way each senator can have, I think, 2 is what we discussed, and show them to organizations when you go speak with them. That way people can know what we do and who we are and why we give out funds.
Any questions for SJC? Rules Committee. Parliamentary Board.
Rules met on Tuesday, and we continued discussing Constitution and just working through that as a committee. And then next week we'll be meeting with advisory needs and just continuing that process. We'll have more for you guys on that.
Questions for Rules Committee? Advisor?
No comments.
No comments. Any announcements? Go ahead. You go first.
Okay. I would like to call for Senator Shipley to apologize to James Hescock for his comments earlier.
Second.
I don't know if you can.
No, it's not really a motion. It's more of a statement.
Do that?
It's just a motion. I didn't say motion.
It's just more of a statement.
Senator Shipley?
That's what the student said. I tried to couch it by calling you by name, but that's the word that we used.
Right. Any other announcements? Treasurer Markert.
All right, I spoke to Al Mariani 2 days ago. If you don't know who he is kind of the representative for Aramark, the dining services here at UT Tyler. If you've been in any of the dining services lately, like Chick-fil-A, Subway, Met, and any coffee shops, you probably have received a little slip of paper, a little, I don't know, it's like a little card, asking you to go fill out a survey. He wanted me to kind of see what SGA can do with getting students to fill out those surveys, and he gave me a couple examples of students filling out those surveys, and then him or his employees working to fix that complaint that was had. He was going to come speak this week, but we thought that'd be better for him to speak next week because we didn't kind of know what we were doing with pictures. So he will be coming to speak with us next week. But in the meantime, if you do get one of these little slips of paper, please fill out the survey. And he wants us to be honest. It's nice to hear someone higher up at the school care about what us students have to think, and they actually are making changes that we want. So please fill out that survey, or if you want Al's email, I can go ahead and give that to you.
Piggyback on that, I filled out that survey and I sent a lot of things, and they actually do respond back. So if you do have any issues, like don't know if your voice isn't going to be heard, or if you're your constituents or anything like that, they're doing a really good job. Like some of the things I pinpointed specifically have already been changed, and I was very impressed with what the Met and other dining.
My good friend John Patrick Kenyon is coming next week. He is an orientation leader, and he will be recruiting for orientation leaders coming up. So he'll be speaking next week about that. So kind of just have that on your schedule.
Any other announcements? Senator Lucia.
Concerning the survey thingy, well, I did the survey and I heard that you get a free pack of gum.
To the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Secretary of Absence, please. Second roll call.
President Freed, Vice President Vanderkam, Treasurer Mark Hurt,
Here.
Parliamentary Navarre, Senator Abai, Senator Adams, Senator Alegria, Senator Andrews, Senator Baker, Senator Belogan, Senator Billings, Senator Byram, Senator Bradley, Senator Chacon,
Here.
Senator Davis,
Here.
Senator Freshour, Senator Gamarian, Senator Zai, Senator Hernandez, Senator Hornia, Senator Jumper, Senator Khan, Senator Leverett,
Yeah.
Senator Louvier.
Yes, he's here.
Senator Luna, Senator Hannah Mahfood, Senator Maggie Mahfood, Senator Martin, Senator Martinez, Senator Medina, Senator Miller, Senator Musni, Senator Senator Rogers, Senator Schultz, Senator Segal, Senator Shipley, Senator Said, Senator Templeman, Senator Toole, Senator Williams, and Senator Yen.
You can bring up your name tag on
Yeah,
your way
Shelton's
out.
here. Shelton's here.
Any questions?
Yeah, Shelton's here.
Yep.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah.
The reason why I had to keep muting you is because there's a lot of feedback in the back on the sound. So I don't know if there's anything in the background or not. That was the reason why I keep muting you or not muting you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. And so we'll work on it. It's a work in progress. So we will